So why you cut on the outside?
Well, mainly just for maneuverability. It's so hard to do everything on the inside. You'll be crunched up in here trying to work. So much easier just being out here doing all your prep work.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take the tint and I'm going to bring it close to the bigger edge here, and I'm just going to kind of lay it down. But what I did is I left it about 1 inch from the bottom. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to heat shrink this tint to form to the bottom of this glass.
So these tunnels,
we got to get rid of them.
you got to get rid of them before we go on the inside.
Exactly.
How many layers is this film?
It's just a single layer of film, and then you have what's called a protective coating, a release sheet, which you'll see us peel in a little while when we go to lay. Now,
So there are really 3 layers. The film and an inside layer and an outside layer, right?
Well, no, you have the film, the film is actually on this side right now, because once we peel it, it's going to sit just like that on the window.
Yes.
There's an outside layer, which is a clear...
Well, don't get to it right now. We'll get to
we'll
it.
get to it in a minute. It's a clear plastic, and then there's a layer of glue.
Go ahead and do your...
Okay, now I'm going to get my heat gun.
And our goal is to try to get rid of these tunnels. This heat gun here?
This is just, I bought it from a department store, like Lowe's or Home Depot, I believe it was.
Ryobi is the
It just gets hotter. I can adjust the heat whether I want more or less, but you don't really need all that.
Just basic
Any
hair
kind
dryer
of
can do
a
it.
hair
Right?
dryer, a good hair dryer will even work, or they sell less expensive heat guns, you know, they're $20, $30, whatever, and
Okay.
they do the job. Now all I'm doing here is trying to work down my side, doing everything on the bottom here. What's up here I'm going to leave alone. On the side window you mainly want to concentrate on the bottom. On the back window I'll show you different. Now what I want to do is to conquer this bubble, I want to kind of separate it. What you want is a straight finger like that, or tunnel or whatever you'd like to call it. You don't want to where it's splitting at the top, because I call that you don't want it like that. I call that a tree.
Okay.
What happens if 50% of the time if you try to heat a tree like that, when you come down, it's going to catch in the middle, it's going to crease the film. You want to try to split it and have separate fingers like that. Now I can work the finger by going like that. I start at the top of the finger, I angle down, and I come down with it. Never start at the bottom and go up. You want to go in the direction you want the bubble to go away. Come down, and what will tend to happen, they'll become smaller ones. I tackle the bigger ones first by going down at it like that. Now I'll get smaller ones, but I'll come back to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting all the secrets from Zafar as he knows them and does them. This is actually a Lexus, brand new from the dealer, has 0 miles on it until we picked it up. And we are taking a footage of
Now, I'm just making them smaller. They don't have to be completely eliminated, but the more you get them down...
but the theory is first you get rid of the big pipe, then it becomes a little bubble, then you can get it to conform. Slowly.
Yeah, and if you have a little left on the bottom, most of the time you don't even have to fight it. It'll lay once on the inside.
And the idea is that because it's plastic, it's going to stretch, and that stretch gets rid of the bubble.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm done prepping this window.
Okay.
I can do one window at a time, or everyone has their way of doing it. What I like to do is cut all my windows and prep them, and that way I'm in cutting, heating mode, and just going one after another. And once I've cut them and prepped them all, then I could be in
installation mode,
laying the film, and I'll just zip around the car and lay it. You'll see. This is what's going to take the most time. Laying this literally will take a minute or two. Okay, so I'm going to move on to window number 2. And here, of course, again, we're using a film that's a step darker to 35%, which is right here. This is the 35, just a hair darker, percent darker, 50 and 35. And this door window and the back little wing window, I call them, are going to be 35%. Now, since you've kind of got the idea how I did the first one, I could show you this one a little quicker. And what's kind of neat, I'm going to show you a little trick here if I have enough film to do it. I'm pulling the film away from the car when I do this. I don't want to be near the car where I can scratch it. I kind of get it, I go a few inches, a couple inches bigger than where I need to be, and I kind of just pull the film away and I cut. Okay? Just throw this roll of film in here. So we'll use it on the other side. Now what's kind of neat is I'll line my bottom edge again up somewhere near the gasket, and what I'll do is, here I've got it kind of lined up. Actually, I have what's called an edge that's a little damaged on the film. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring it down to the gasket. I'm going to use the gasket as a guide. I'm going to make a whole brand new bottom edge by going like that. And then again, now I got a nice straight edge. I'm going to reline it. Lined up the bottom, just like we did the front. I'm going to cut up here, get down by the corner, cut up, and again I only have the blade out, just the first notch, about 1/8 of an inch or so. I'm going to take this extra off right about here. And see, sometimes we get lucky. Depends on the car. If it'll fit here.
And ladies and gentlemen,
No,
you
no,
are
no.
witnessing Zafar attempting to save some film.
No, it's not going to work.
Okay.
Now normally when I do a back window, you're using a large piece, you end up with extra. Use that extra to do these windows.
Okay.
Instead of rolling out and wasting more film. Okay, again, I don't want any light gaps from the inside, so I want this film to be a little bigger than what my outer edges are.
And this is 20%?
This is 35 here.
35.
I'm going to slide it back about 1/4 of an inch. Right there. You can slide it back or forward, whichever way you prefer. We want it a little bigger than what the frame is. That way there's no way I could lay it a little off and have light gaps showing from the inside. Again, bring my blade out just to here. Poke it right down in the corner. Just make sure I can see what I'm doing. Poke it right down in the corner and use my gasket as a guide coming up. If you notice, when I do this blade, when I do my cutting, I don't let the blade go toward the gasket or straight. I kind of angle it like that, and I just use the gasket as a guide, so I'm just gliding along the gasket like that. If I go straight or this way, it's going to cut into the gasket, and it's not cutting, using it as a guide. I just kind of use it as a guide just like that when I go up the gasket.
That's a nice trick.
Same thing. I mean, I would be cutting my finger if I didn't use the finger as a guide right now.
Correct.
You don't want to cut these gaskets.
So
off.
that's a nice little trick you got to kind of practice, but
Yeah, by
don't cut your
angling the blade.
Don't cut your finger trying to
Yeah,
practice.
angle the blade away from whatever it is you're doing and just slide and use it just as a guide. Push up against it and it'll help you get a perfect straight line. Again, I'm just hitting the middle just to hold it in place. And I'm going to roll my window down part way. Just like that. And I'm going to stretch the film on the top. I want this kind of straight. Don't have to be perfect, just as long as I get most of them out. And these windows, they have a pretty bad curve. Right. So,
Hey, Rob.
you're looking at one of the tougher curved side windows. Again, glide across the top. Okay, you mean what?
No, just keep going.
Okay. What's up, Rob? Okay, and here, I'm going to just round my edges again. There's no particular method to that, you know, as far as how much you round. You don't want to cut away too much, though.
Okay.
You cut away too much, and it's going to be visible that you cut out too much film. Around my edges, I had a little bit of a jagged edge there. I took it out of there. Again here, round my edge. And round my edge. That's it. This window is ready for heat shrinking. Again, lay it somewhere near the edge here and about an inch away from the bottom. And there's my big old fingers that I need to heat out of there.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to stop it.
No.
You're going to be pulling a car in and out. It's going to look crazy.
And skip it.
Okay. Now, again, you may want to come from this angle. Kind of separating the tree and getting my sides down because you can't heat shrink side to side. You got to heat shrink down or up. The way film rolls out, you have to heat shrink up and down. You can't heat shrink side to side when you roll the film out sideways, horizontally. Again here, we work it down. Go after the big ones and then we'll come back to the little guys. If you see it split off on its own. I was about to split it, but it split off on its own into other smaller ones. You could heat several of them at once when you get the hang of it like this. And then just come back and go over them real fast. And then there'll be a lot of little tiny ones. There, going down on them again and facing down.
And basically, you're going to get rid of that, and then you're going to cut the top and finish this window, right?
Yes.
Okay.
When the
We'll,
top's cut.
we'll pick it up on the other side.
Top.
You're doing the wing window.
Yep. I'm going to go just a little bigger. And I'm going to set this rolling here so it doesn't get hurt. Since the car's clean, I could take this extra piece here and...
Use it on the other side?
Exactly. The film's moving on me because of the soap and water, but I'll show you how to stop that and then use this extra piece on the other side. Okay, now... What está bien? They should be I'm going to find a corner with the edge of my blade and just slide up it. Stop at the corner so we can always fix them afterwards. Pull away with the film like that. Don't pull toward it or straight down. It may rip into where you're trying to tint. Again, now you may want to come from over here. I'm just going to zip around and do all that in one shot. And find a little edge here. And use my rubber gasket as a guide, the factory gasket. And come down in there.
Okay.
Now the wing is cut. Only thing we have to do is straighten out our corners.
Okay.
Our edges. See how I got a little jagged there when I cut it? I can always just give it a little nip, and then here, just give it a little roundness, just like I did the other windows. A little roundness. Always, when you're not using your alpha, like I'm about to not use it, close it. Always make sure you close it so you don't scratch your car with the blade.
So now we pretty much got this side of the car all prepped, all cut, and the next stage we're going to see is application.
Exactly.
Can we pick it up when we're applying on the inside next?
Yes.
Okay.
One piece to back window.
So one piece is attractive.
Yes.
How many cars can you or can't you do back window in one piece?
Pretty much every car.
Okay, so if you have a wide enough film, you can do any car.
Yes. And you'll see why it's so, actually, A lot of times your back window is the easiest window on a car. Most people think it's the hardest because it's the largest, but it's not. I'm going to get rid of this.
Ah, that's going to be dark.
Yeah. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it a little larger. As a matter of fact, just so you can see what I've got going on, I want you to be able to see what I mean when I say, and
A light on
put
the
a
inside.
light on the inside to show you the edges. If you can see where my edges are now.
Yes.
First thing I want to do is take a look inside, and I want to see how much edge do I have.
Okay, very small.
Yeah, so I know I have a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch to play with, but on the outside my edge is big.
Yeah.
I have a good 2 inches.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not going to try to be precise and cut it because I'm just heat shrinking. I could still trim again.
Don't we need to spray the window?
No, because this is what's called a dry shrink method, dry shrinking.
Okay.
It's not like the side windows, it's a smaller window, I'm wetting it and heat shrinking it. A window like this is not going to work wet shrinking, not as easy, it's going to be a lot harder.
So dry shrinking.
Dry shrinking. Now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting it big. I'm just staying in the black, but I don't want my tin hanging over on the edges of the body and stuff like that. Cutting it big, just getting rid of some of this excess. And cut it, you know, about the size of the window, but about 1 inch bigger all the way around. Kind of holding it in place as I do it, so it doesn't slide around, because we took the static electricity out, so right now it's really slippery.
Yeah.
Which is what you want when you start heating. And you can save pieces like this to do wing windows, to do strips on the front windshield, etc. Cutting it big, cutting it big, cutting it big. Now I pretty much cut it to the window, just about 1 inch bigger all the way around. Now what I want to do, I'm going to wet my rag, because what will happen is when I start, I want to seal the middle of this and the edges. What happens is when I start heat shrinking, I don't want this film to move around on me. So I'm going to kind of make it stay in place by spraying a little soap and water on my rag here. And rubbing it in the middle. Again, I'm being careful with the film to not crease it. Being real careful and gentle when I lift it. I'm going to come down to the middle like that with the rag. Now I've sealed my middle because I want all my heat shrinking to be on the top and the bottom. I'm going to try to leave out so there's no bubbles or fingers on the side. Again, I don't want anything on the side, so I'm going to lift it just a little bit and come over here, I'll show you. And I'm going to run a little water up and down there. So basically what I've done is come across the center, I've went to, down, up and down the side, and I'm going to make an H when I'm done. In the middle, on both sides, and it forms an H of water line. Again, I'm gentle when I lift it. Probably covering a good 6 to 8 inches in the middle of the window with water, if you could see it.
And the water acts as our static clink.
Yes.
Okay.
And here's my H again. Yeah, it won't affect what. It's, yeah, exactly. Water acts as a holder, I guess you could say, for the film instead of it being dry on it. Now what I've done is I've forced all of my main bubbled part of the film that's not shrunk yet into a concentrated area where I could do it on the top and I could do it on the bottom. A heat shrink it, I mean.
And again, we're trying to conform the flat piece of tint to a curved glass.
We're going to form it to the window.
And because it's plastic, it'll eventually take the shape of the glass.
You get rid of this light because it could distort your view when you're looking at it. It'll help you when you need to trim your edges, but it'll distort your view of where the bubbles are if it's on the inside. I'll leave it off until you need it. Now, some people will use a glove because they don't want their hand to get too hot when they're using a stronger heat gun. I don't really do that. I go through it kind of quick. Now I'm ready. What I want to do...
I'm really not seeing much except the ripples, which I'm presuming will go away. Just do your work.
Start from here
Yeah.
and go to the middle. Start from here and go to the middle. And then I'll go to the other side.
Okay.
And what I do is I work it down gradually.
Oh,
I kind of go in a circular motion. Circular motion. There. And I push down with my fingers. Circular motion, I'm kind of pushing. What I'm doing is the same thing I did on the side. I'm kind of splitting it. Splitting the film so that I can conquer the finger much easier instead of it turning into what I called earlier a tree. Now if you want to be, this portion is heat shrunk. It's heat shrunk. Even though there's still ripple in it, my big fingers are gone and trees. If I want to be certain of myself that I'm heat shrunk, I'll go ahead and squeegee it. Start from the middle again and gradually, at the end and gradually work toward the middle.
So once it heat shrunk, it conforms much better to the glass.
Yeah. If it wasn't heat shrunk, see now I can get my little one. Even though I could have got away without doing this, without ever using a squeegee, this lets me know 110% that I'm heat shrunk. Okay, I can't do that here right now. If I was to try to squeegee these big fingers out, all I would do is crease the heck out of it. Well, welcome to Tint Pros.
One more time.
Welcome to Tint Pros.
And this is a Lexus 250, brand new, just finished, 50%, 35%, and 20%.
And you always want to go from the side to the middle.
Okay.
Because the worst possible spot you want to end up with heat shrinking is in the corner. That's where it'll tend to give you a hard time. And you want to kind of get away from the corner. Again, you almost don't have to touch the film, but when you see it bunching up, kind of split it. Split it like that. Can you see that in the camera?
Yeah.
And just kind of want lines. I don't want these trees and different angled bubbles. Again, I'm just going in a circular motion, kind of keeping them straight on. And this corner is heat shrunk. Now I'm not going to squeegee it. I already know it's heat shrunk. Like I said, it's
So once you get good, you'll be able to recognize when it's heat shrunk and there's no more work for it.
Exactly. But if you want to be certain and you're not sure, you do what I did with the
down here.
with the squeegee in that corner.
But being you know this, you know it's already sitting in the correct place.
Yes. And when you do...
These are some of the tricks, guys.
When you do that squeegee
telling you
method,
100% everything.
when you do that squeegee method, you want it with a hard card, hard plastic card, like a Bondo card. Anything like the cleaning squeegee in that, it's just going to grab and drag the film.
Okay.
You can't use a soft rubber squeegee. It has to be a hard
Plastic.
card. And okay, again, same method. I'm working toward the middle. I'm on a circular motion. The reason I do that is it grabs in one bigger area at a time, so I'm not concentrating the heat in one section. It's grabbing a wide area. The newer car, it may be smart. You take the cord, put it around your neck, so it's not dragging on the body of the car, or hold it away. Again, circular motion. Got most of it, so now you can go back and forth. Once you're up here, you're pretty safe. and that's heat shrunk. I'm going to start down here now. So 3/4 of it is heat shrunk now.
And now we got these final pieces. And ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing this live, continuous, because while it may be boring for some, for those trying to learn window tinting, this is about as thorough as it gets. And of course, live also means my phone is going off.
Wait a minute. Coming down here, I'm at the very end here. Okay, very end. Now, if you have someone to help you, it's nice as far as holding a light on the inside. With the light that I have, it makes it a lot easier. It's an actual shop light, so it's long. I can just kind of set it down back here and move it a couple times and it'll allow me to cut. Again, I've looked on the inside and I've seen it all the way around because I know I have that much room on the inside. I'm just following it with the light with my hand. Turning the light here with my other hand and cutting it down. Okay, cutting it down 1/4 inch big roughly. And that's that part. I'm going to come over here now to this corner. Again, if you had someone holding the light, it makes life a lot easier. If not, you got to kind of just set it in place. Now, when you're using lighter tint, it doesn't matter. And I'm looking for my edge because we got a pretty dark tint here. Okay, Rob. Oh, they take that out, Robbie, on this one? Shit.
What?
I forgot that one just yanks right out.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Rob, come back. Okay, here.
Go ahead.
I found a hand to hold the light for me. My good friend Rob. And we're moving across about a 1/4 inch big. Moving across, and we're good. Thank you, Rob. You're the man. Thank you.
All right, bro. I batched out.
Oh, okay. Now,
See you, Rob.
okay, I've just set the light in there again, and I'm going to go ahead and trim it around the corner here. 1/4 inch big, 1/4 inch big. You see, the back window doesn't have to be as precise as the side windows. You know, because you have room to work with on the inside. You have plenty of room to move the tint around and get it where you want it. And this is it. Again, like I said, once you get the hang of it, this becomes the easiest window. And another reason for that is these windows roll up and down, so you have to be a lot more accurate with your cutting and your heating and everything else. This window, once it's on, it's on. You're not going to have any problems with it peeling from rolling up and down or anything like that. And now, we're ready to lay windows. At the end of the day, I can't worry.
Hey. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now, just checking it out. Now, it doesn't hurt. At this point, I'll show you a little trick, kind of seals the top edge. And grab a paper towel.
Still looks like
Because
we got a lot of water in there.
Yeah, water will keep trying to run back down in there. And in the seals, there's water from us spraying. So I just take a hard card with the paper towel, and this kind of seals my top edges, so it doesn't run back water down in there and start kicking up more fingers and bubbles and stuff like that. It's going to kind of go up in the edge there. Okay.
Let me see that tool you just used.
This is just a thin triangular tool to get it in tight
guys,
spots.
at the end of every video, we usually have a list of the tools.
Okay, now I'm going to roll it up.
Now be sure to always visit our site.
roll it up, and now this is the easy part. You just kind of pull it back and release the film. But I ran my hand across so it doesn't pull all the film back up off of there when I'm pulling the release sheet. I'm kind of just tucking this in the edges, and I'm laid. Now I just finished squeegeeing it. Use my little green soft card again. Now I could just go down with it. Again, you're learning on a car here. This is the Lexus IS250. It's probably one of the hardest Lexuses to tint. On a scale 1 to 10, it's about a 9 or a 10. So if you can get this one, other cars can be much easier. Okay, I think we're looking good, and I always like to give it an extra one. Water stays in the film for days until it completely dries, and that's why you normally cannot roll your windows down for a couple of days after it's tinted. But you want to get out as much as you can when the job is first completed, just for appearance purposes. When you deliver a car to a customer, you just don't want to have a boatload of water in the film. Okay, now we got some stubborn little bubbles there that we didn't completely heat shrink out. We let them dry up a little bit. We work on the next window. We come back, they'll mostly come out. We may have to apply just a little bit of heat and we'll be done. Okay, we move to the next window.
All right, and once we heat shrink the bottom, then we're going to just reinstall the door panel.
And clean the window with some glass. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to spray, and we went ahead and removed the tail light for you, but on this particular model, actually I forgot, it just clips out by pulling it back, and then you undo the clip just like kind of the ones in the door. Yeah. And here,
let me see that squeegee you're using.
This is the soft
squeegee,
clean squeegee. Doesn't have to be this exact one, just something soft and rubbery that's going to run across there. And it may be hard for you to get all the way down at the bottom. It's okay because the water that runs down in there pushes down a lot of the dirt to the bottom edge. I'm going to go ahead and spray the window from the inside.
Wet it real good.
Wet it real good. And I'm going to start from this corner. Actually, I want to grab a couple of my tools. I'm going to start from this corner, because when I peel, I'm going to end up on the passenger side where I want to get in. That's why it's easier for me to get in over there. And that's why I pulled the passenger seat forward over there. Now, peel the corner up just like the side window. I want to be a little more careful. A little more careful so I don't crease it up. You want to wet it as quickly as possible before it starts gathering dust. Boy, we're working on a hot day today.
Yeah, you look like
it. Okay, it's ready to go in. I'm going to take the piece. Again, my hands are wet. I want to handle it as little as possible. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a hand here and one, almost slipped. One here near the bottoms. That's how you handle a big piece. Get in. When you get in, you want to be careful to try not to touch too many edges that may pick up dirt or hair or lint or anything. We get up in here in the back window area. We want to shove the tint. I don't want to say shove, but slide it down to the bottom of the window and kind of line it up. Line it up, get it past the little black on the bottom, and then if you come in here, take a look. I just kind of roll it up like that. And I'm still off, but that's okay. I could still slide it around where I need it to go. I just want to cover so there's no light gap showing. And I should be lined up pretty good there. Believe it or not, we're about a couple minutes away from being done with the back window. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick spray. Now I'll hit it with my little yellow cleaning squeegee, that's just to hold it in place. You want to hit the middles out, just like that, as far as you can reach, and then leave some and go up with it. Same with the bottom, you end up going down with it. There, whole top of the window is done. Now this is what I call the bulldozer. This is what gets behind third brake lights, stuff like that. And all you do is push down with it. Okay.
Is that a text?
No. And I have another little tool I call it's called a side swiper. It's not really necessary. I just like the tool personally. No matter what, water will work its way out in a few days. So if you don't get it all down there because you don't have a bulldozer or the right tool, it will evaporate on its own. Now there.
And that window is done.
Window. It's
Wow.
done.
Wow, that went
We'll
fast.
clean it up in a little while and show you what it looks like. Easy window. It's fairly easy. Most swings are fairly easy. It's a small piece of film, and again, it's not on a roll-up window. Now I just take it and I use this big window here as a platform to work off of instead of trying to work in that little area there. Spray it, grab it lightly. It's already been sprayed in here. I just kind of want to get it in here without finagling it too much. The more I'm moving around on the pieces, the more dust I may pick up or possibly wrinkle it, crease it. I got it positioned right in place. I just want it up, etc. I'm going to go ahead and get my little green squeegee out here and squeegee it down. You can always, it doesn't hurt to, you can always do a light squeegee and then come back and check it in a little while and push more water out with a little more force. Now I got it in place, it should be pretty much okay.
This car is starting to look very respectable.
Come from the outside, give it a quick cleaning, mainly so that I can see what's going on here. Make sure I didn't leave a big area of water in the film or anything like that. And we're looking for...
So this is the after, and as you can see the tremendous difference. This is 50%, this is 35%, and this 20%. When you look at this car, you can't really tell. The gradual change is just absolutely fabulous. And in a second, we're going to put the door panel back together. Okay, this looks great. So this is the after. How's that?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm going to disconnect my window switch and grab my door panel and kind of just reverse the same process that I did before. I'm going to start with the light because that was the last thing I unplugged. And again, I'm going to knock the light out of place. It's a little easier to plug in. There's my light, and here is my memory seat, my tweeter plug. They go in a lot easier than they come out because you're not trying to break the clip loose. Here's my door. Now these are a little tight. My door lock cable, my door handle cable. They just snap in place. They're really
So the
easy.
door lock is the green one down at the bottom.
Yes. And you're just a matter of memory with those, but it won't work right if you do it the other way. It won't fit right either. Now, these plugs for the window switches, I just kind of put them in place there. And I want to get this baby to hang back on. So I'm just going to kind of get it in place like this. Let me stand up, it's easier. Get the door panel back in place on the top. It's going to make a little sound when it finds its place. Kind of like that. You work it down, and it just found its place. I just want to get it to hinge back on. Then, before I start pushing any clips back on, and make sure my plugs are still accessible for my window. Nothing's in the way here. Make sure my clips are lined up. What I do, I take a look and make sure they're lined up with the holes. So they're all the hole type little clips. Then boom, 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 here, here, here. All my clips are back in. Put my 2 screws back in and cover them back up with the window switch and this top cover, and the door panel's finished. It's actually easier to put something on than it is to take it off if you've ever done anything like this.
And again, no high-speed driver.
No, definitely not.
And of course, we don't want to press that button anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to roll the windows down anymore.
And you put a sign on there saying, don't roll the window down.
Yep, I usually...
Okay? So I need you to smile. This is the finished product. Window tinting by Tint Pros. We saw it A to Z on this car, and we're closing this door. We're going to pull the car outside and just see a before and after. So, hey, this is the finished product, and now I can see the driver inside. You see his hand, and there's the 35%. Actually, this is 50%. This is 35%, and this is 20%. And as you can see, it really, really accents the car. Window tinting by Tint Pros over there. Let's see if we can get their logo in. No. Window tinting by Tint Pros. Zap, the window tinting scoop. Wow, this looks awesome. From the before to the after. Now it's an elegant car, Lexus of Cleveland. Metro Lexus actually. And the window tinting meister, Zaf. Come on out. Okay. Looks good?
Yeah.
So this is Tint Pros. And this is a Lexus 250, brand new, just finished, 50%, 35%, and 20%. It's very respectable. Good luck. And good. Tint Pros.